Hello viewers, today I am going to talk about Ted Hughes' poem My Own True Family, which is included in the class 10 English syllabus. It's a very difficult poem to explain, but I will try to explain it as far as it is possible for me to explain to you. But before doing any analysis of this poem, have a quick look, rather have a quick reading of this poem. Once I craved in an orchard. I was looking for a stag. I met an old woman there, all nobly stick and rag. She said, I have your secret here inside my little bag. Then she began to cackle and I began to quake. She opened off a little bag and I came twice awake, surrounded by a staring tribe and me tied to a stake. They said, we are the oak trees and your own true family. We are chopped down, we are torn up, you don't blink an eye. Unless you make a promise now you are going to die. Now you are going to die. Whenever you see an oak tree fail, swear now you plant too. Unless you swear, the black bough will wrinkle over you and root you among the oak while you are born but never grew. This was my dream beneath the boughs, the dream that altered me. When I came out of the orchard back to human company, my walk was the walk of a human child, but my heart was a tree. Before going deep into the text, viewers, we should remember two particular things about Hughes. Hughes was born in a rural countryside of England, Yorkshire at Melbourne, where he spent his school life. And his brother was a gamekeeper. So from very childhood, Hughes was very familiar with the physical aspects of nature, the rural aspect of nature of England. He used to go over the rocks and hills, the canals at Yorkshire, and he used to wander under the open sky. Another thing that would have an impact on his poetry is that his brother was a gamekeeper. So, from a very from a very close distance, he watched the behavior, the nature of animals. Another thing that we would have to keep in mind while reading poetry of Ted Hughes was that Hughes' father took part in the First World War. So from his father, Hughes came to know the death and destruction at a massive scale. One critic has said Hughes' works of poetry are pervaded by a vision which is full of terror, beauty, terror, violence, and beauty. Hughes realized that unless and until human beings come close to nature, unless human beings have close affinity with nature, unless they have the natural instincts like that of the beast, they cannot become fully cannot develop their full potential as a human being. Towards the end of his career, Hughes wrote a book, Tales from Ovid. So Hughes' poetry there is influence of Ovid in Hughes' poetry. Hughes was also influenced by William Blake, who was a visionary poet. If we look at this poem, My Own True Family, Hughes is here talking about nature. He is also here describing his vision, visionary dream, visionary experience, like that of Blake. Now come to the poem. Once I craved in an orchard. I was looking for a stag. I met an old woman there, all nobilistic and rag. The poet has a vision that as a child he has entered into an oak forest. While he was looking for a stag, male deer, there he met an old woman. That old woman, all nobly stick and rag. The stick that the old woman was holding was trembling, all nobly stick, trembling stick and rag. And her dress was shabby. That old woman was trembling and was wearing a shabby dress, torn up dress, said, I have your secret here inside my little bag. She said to the child, I have your secret here inside my little bag. Then she began to cackle, and I began to quake. When that old woman burst into laughter, the poet, as a child, became scared. Hey, hut! Began to quake. The poet began to tremble in fear. The poet was scared, and the poet was scared, and he began to tremble in fear. She opened up a little bag, and I came to Isaiah. That old woman opened up her little bag, and I came to Isaiah. The poet came awake, doubly awake, and he saw that he was surrounded by a staring tribe and me tied to a stake. And he saw that he was surrounded by a tribe who was staring at him, was looking fixedly at him, and the poet himself was tied to a stake. They said, they here meaning the tribe who was surrounding the poet. They said, we are the oak trees and your own true family. We are the oak trees and your own true family. We are your own family members. We are brothers and sisters. We are father and mother. We are the near and dear ones of you. We are chopped down. We are failed. We are cut down. We are torn off. You do not blink an eye. Cruelty is being inflicted on us. We are violently tortured. We are ruthlessly killed. But still being a member of our family, you remain indifferent. You do not blink an eye. You remain indifferent. You don't have any reaction to that kind of cruel, ruthless act towards us. Unless you make a promise now, unless you make a vow now, if you don't make a promise now, you are going to die. So these oak trees were the spirits of the oak trees. Satan is the child that if he does not make a promise, he'll be killed. Whenever you see an oak tree fail, swear now you will plant too. At any moment when you see any oak tree being cut down, you have to make a promise that you will plant another 2 oak trees. You replace them with other 2 trees. Unless you swear, unless you make a promise. If you do not make a promise, the black bock will wrinkle over you. The cover of the oak, the bark will wrinkle over you, will entangle you and root you among the oaks. Where you are born but never do. He would be buried alive under the ground. This was my dream beneath the boughs. The dream that altered me. The dream that changed me. That brought a radical change in me. When I came out of the oak wood, When I came up to the oak wood of the oak forest, back to human company, back to human society, my walk was the walk of a human child, but my heart was a tree. So, this is the transformation, the metamorphosis, alteration the poet had at the end. His gesture and posture was like a human child, but his heart was transformed to the heart of a tree. In other words, he feels a close affinity with tree. He feels that the trees are his and other human beings' true family members. At a symbolic level, you'll see that there are some major symbols which have been used here. We can take stag, a mule deer, as a symbol for the poet's quest for ideal place of living. And the old woman there, all nobly stick and rag, nobly stick and rag, nobly stick, gatalo lathi. From this clue, we can imagine that this old woman is a symbol, symbolizes Mother Nature, who is despised and neglected by human beings. She is neglected, and that's why her clothes are being torn, her clothes are shabby. If you think of industrialization and the advancement of civilization and the setting up of factories, you know that the forest cover on earth is being depleted because of all these. So there has been some kind of rag has been created in the green dress of Mother Nature. So Mother Nature is wearing a very shabby dress, torn up dress. She is despised, she is neglected by her own children. Another symbol, I have your secret here in my little bag. The kind of secret that the old woman or Mother Nature, in other words, is sharing with the child is the secret of communion between nature and human beings, between the outer world and inner worlds, the language of communion. Unless we can have that kind of secret, we cannot communicate with nature. Twice awake, another difficult expression. It means intense realization on the part of the child, kind of a epiphanic realization. Staring tribe here symbolically stands for the oak trees. The kind of violence that the oak trees are showing are showing to the child is that Mother Nature can also become violent at times to human beings. So, at a surface level, the poem has a simple message for afforestation, planting more trees to replenish the earth. But at another level, unless and until human beings come closer to nature, can have secret communion, can have affinity with nature, they cannot become a fully harmoniously individual being. In order to develop their full potential, human beings must have close affinity with nature. This is my understanding of the text. This is a very superficial understanding. Hopefully you will like the videos. Thank you. Bye-bye.